Barron Trump was taking a leisurely walk through a quaint neighborhood where houses were surrounded by gardens blooming with lavender and apple trees heavy with ripe fruit. It was a serene afternoon, with soft golden sunlight filtering through rows of fiery autumn leaves. A gentle breeze carried the crisp scent of dried leaves and freshly baked pastries from somewhere nearby. Moments like this were rare for Barron, offering a reprieve from the relentless noise and scrutiny of public life. As he turned down a small alley leading to the central square, Barron noticed a little girl standing behind a small wooden table. The table was covered with a red and white checkered cloth, displaying neatly tied green ribbon boxes of cookies. A handwritten sign in charming, slightly messy letters read, "Homemade cookies, $1 per box." The girl smiled brightly, waving enthusiastically at passers-by, most of whom glanced briefly before continuing on their way. The way she held on to her radiant smile, even in the face of indifference, made Barron pause. He slowed his pace, his gaze drawn to the modest setup. The girl couldn't have been more than 8 years old, with neatly tied pigtails and an oversized apron that nearly swallowed her petite frame. Her large, sparkling eyes lit up as she noticed Barron approaching. "Hello, sir. Would you like to buy some cookies?" she asked, her voice sweet and brimming with enthusiasm. Barron crouched down to her level, returning her smile. "How's business today?" he asked warmly. Her smile faltered slightly, and she shrugged. "Not great, sir. Most people just walk by, but I'm trying to save up for a new oven. The one we have at home burns everything, and I really want to make better cookies." The sincerity in her voice tugged at Barron's heart. He thought of his mother's words. Every great success starts with a small step, but it's the courage to take that step that matters. "What's your name?" Barron asked, his expression softening. "Mila," she replied, her voice lifting slightly. "What's yours?" For a brief moment, Barron hesitated. He wasn't accustomed to introducing himself so casually, but realizing Mila had no idea who he was, he found it refreshing. "I'm Barron," he said simply. Mila beamed. "Nice to meet you, Barron. Would you like to try some cookies? I think you'll love them." "Of course," Barron replied. "I'll take 2 boxes." He reached into his pocket and pulled out a crisp $20 bill. Mila hesitated, her face tinged with worry. "I don't have change for this, sir." "That's all right," Barron said, his smile reassuring. "Consider it an investment in your dream oven." Her eyes widened, glistening with gratitude. "Really, that's so kind of you. Thank you so much." As Barron bit into the first cookie, the buttery sweetness and melting chocolate chips filled his senses, earning a satisfied nod. Yet, it wasn't just the taste that warmed him. Mila's optimism and unwavering belief in her small dream had touched something deep within him. He stayed by the cookie stand for a few more minutes, chatting with Mila about her goals. She shared her dream of buying a red bicycle with a basket and a bell she had seen at a nearby store. "If I had a bike, I could help my grandma with grocery shopping. Her legs hurt a lot, and walking is hard for her," she explained, her voice tinged with both concern and hope. Barron nodded, moved by her selflessness. Despite her young age, Mila had already found ways to think of others. Before leaving, Barron placed a hand on the table and smiled encouragingly. "I know you'll make it happen, Mila. Don't ever give up." As he walked away, the image of Mila and her small stand lingered in his mind. Something stirred within him, a determination to do more. Mila's unwavering spirit had reminded him of the power of kindness and resilience, even in the smallest of acts. Barron Trump continued walking, but the image of Mila and her little cookie stand lingered in his mind. Something deep inside urged him to take action and support the young girl. Mila had inspired him, reminding him of the power of small acts of kindness and the resilience of the human spirit. It was a reminder of the immense potential within everyone, regardless of age or circumstances. Before leaving the neighborhood, Barron made a promise to himself. Mila's story deserved more than just fleeting support. He realized her determination and compassion could inspire others if given the opportunity. In the days that followed, Barron couldn't stop thinking about Mila. He decided to act. After making a few calls and leveraging his connections, he orchestrated a surprise that he knew would leave a lasting impact. But this wasn't just about gifting Mila a bicycle. It was about giving her the tools to continue dreaming big and helping others. On a sunny Saturday morning, Barron returned to the neighborhood. This time, he wasn't alone. He brought along a small team of volunteers and a truck filled with surprises for Mila. As they approached her cookie stand, already set up and ready for the day, Barron felt a surge of excitement. He couldn't wait to see Mila's reaction. When Mila saw Barron approaching, her face lit up. She waved enthusiastically. "Hi, Mr. Barron, you're back," she called out. "Hi, Mila," Barron replied, his smile growing wider. "Today I brought a few friends, and we have a little surprise for you." Mila's curiosity sparked. "A surprise? What is it, Mr. Barron?" Barron gestured toward the truck as two volunteers stepped forward, carrying a brand new red bicycle, complete with a basket and a bell, exactly as Mila had described. Mila gasped, her hands flying to her mouth in astonishment. "Is that for me?" she whispered. "It is," Barron confirmed with a warm smile, "but there's more." He pointed to other items being unloaded from the truck. High-quality baking ingredients like flour, sugar, chocolate, and molds, along with a sleek, modern mini-oven. There were also beautifully decorated cookie boxes and a small hand-painted sign that read, "Mila's Bakery, a bite of kindness." Mila was completely overwhelmed. Tears rolled down her cheeks as she looked up at Barron. "Why are you doing all of this for me?" she asked, her voice trembling. Barron knelt down to meet her eyes. "Because, Mila, you reminded me that even the smallest acts of kindness can create a big difference. And because I believe in you." In that moment, Mila's cookie stand became more than just a way to save money for a bicycle. It became a symbol of hope and the power of community. Neighbors who had once passed by without a glance now stopped to buy cookies and support Mila's mission. Barron's gesture had sparked a ripple effect, inspiring people to come together and lift up a little girl's dream. All day long, Mila's cookie stand buzzed with activity. People from all over the neighborhood came, not just to buy cookies, but to share in the positive energy Mila and her story had created. Standing on the sidelines, observing from a distance, Barron felt a profound sense of fulfillment. He had set out to make a difference, but in doing so he himself was reminded of the extraordinary power of kindness that exists within us all. As the sun began to set, Mila's cookie stand remained lively and full of energy. Barron lingered on the edge of the crowd, watching how people were drawn to Mila's infectious enthusiasm. He realized that her determination and spirit weren't just touching his heart, they were impacting everyone who met her. Mila's cookie stand had transformed into a beacon of positivity in the neighborhood, a place where once disconnected lives found connection. Yet, as he watched Mila tirelessly pack cookies into small boxes and greet every customer with a radiant smile, Barron's mind began to turn with new ideas. Looking at Mila, he understood that her story had the potential to inspire on a much larger scale if it reached the right audience. That evening, Barron sat at his desk, opened his laptop, and pondered how to share Mila's story with the world. He thought about using his platform to do some good. After careful consideration, he decided to create a short video documenting Mila's journey and the impact her cookie stand had made. The next morning, Barron returned to Mila's cookie stand, camera in hand. Mila greeted him with a cheerful wave, her eyes lighting up as he approached. "Hi, Mr. Barron, you're back," she said, her voice brimming with excitement. "Of course," Barron replied with a smile. "I'd like to help share your story. Would it be okay if I made a small video about your cookie stand?" Mila's eyes widened with surprise. "Really? You want to make a video about me?" Barron nodded. "Yes, I think what you're doing is amazing, and I want more people to know about it." With Mila's grandmother's approval, the young girl eagerly agreed. Barron spent the next few hours capturing moments of Mila at work, decorating cookies, chatting with customers, and explaining her goal of buying a bicycle to help her grandmother. He also interviewed a few neighbors who stopped by, many of whom shared how Mila's cookie stand had brought a sense of connection to the community. Back home, Barron carefully edited the footage, adding a gentle soundtrack and captions to emphasize Mila's message. The final product was a 3-minute video, heartfelt and moving, showcasing Mila's resilience, generosity, and the profound impact of small acts of kindness. When Barron posted the video on his social media accounts, it quickly gained attention. Within hours, it had been shared hundreds of times, and by the end of the week, it had gone viral. People from across the country were touched by Mila's story, flooding the comments with encouragement and admiration. But the ripple effect didn't stop there. Inspired by Mila's journey, individuals and organizations reached out, eager to help. Some offered to contribute to her bicycle fund, while others proposed supporting her cookie stand or even mentoring her in basic business skills. Local news outlets picked up the story, and soon Mila's cookie stand became a symbol of hope and positivity, far beyond the bounds of her neighborhood. Barron was overwhelmed by the response. While he had hoped the video would inspire a few people, he hadn't expected it to ignite such widespread kindness and generosity. He felt a renewed sense of purpose, realizing that his efforts to share Mila's story had sparked a chain reaction of goodwill. One afternoon, about a week after the video went viral, Barron visited Mila again. This time he wasn't alone. He brought along a representative from a community organization specializing in youth entrepreneurship programs. Together, they outlined a plan to help Mila take her cookie stand to the next level. Mila was thrilled as Barron explained the details. The organization would provide resources and guidance to help Mila expand her cookie stand, teaching her important skills like budgeting, marketing, and customer service. They even offered to set up a small savings account for her to work toward larger goals in the future, beyond just buying a bicycle. "Wow," Mila exclaimed, her eyes sparkling with excitement. "I can't believe all of this is happening. Thank you, Mr. Barron. You've done so much for me." Barron smiled warmly. "You've done all the hard work, Mila. I just helped share your story." As the mentorship program began, Mila's cookie stand flourished even more. She experimented with new recipes, like chocolate chip cookies and apple-filled pastries, which quickly became customer favorites. Mila also started keeping a ledger to track her revenue and expenses, learning the value of financial management. Mila's story had become a testament to the power of community, resilience, and the idea that even the smallest actions can lead to extraordinary outcomes. By the end of summer, Mila's cookie stand had raised enough money not only to buy the bicycle she had dreamed of, but also to contribute to her grandmother's medical expenses. She even set aside a portion to donate to a local charity supporting children in need. When Mila shared the news with Barron, he felt a swell of pride. Mila had taken the support she received and paid it forward, embodying the very values that had inspired him to help her in the first place. But Barron knew this was just the beginning. He believed Mila's story could reach even further. One afternoon, he contacted a friend working in local media and pitched the idea of featuring Mila in a community spotlight segment. The producer was immediately intrigued and agreed to film a story about Mila's entrepreneurial spirit and the movement she had inspired. That weekend, a film crew arrived at Mila's bake stand. At first, she was shy, but she quickly grew comfortable with the idea of being on camera. Barron stood by her side, encouraging her as she spoke about her journey, her goals, and the incredible support she had received from her neighborhood and beyond. The segment aired and received an overwhelming response. Emails and messages poured in from viewers, many offering to support Mila in various ways. One of the messages came from Mr. Henry, the owner of a chain of coffee shops in the city. Deeply moved by Mila's determination and creativity, he invited her and Barron to his flagship location for a meeting. Barron and Mila eagerly accepted the invitation, and to their astonishment, Mr. Henry proposed that Mila supply baked goods for his coffee shops in the area. What Mila had accomplished grew far beyond her small bake stand. Mila's sweet treats became a household name in the town, and her partnership with Mr. Henry transformed her modest dream into a thriving business. However, the most remarkable part of Mila's journey was the impact on her community and the lessons learned along the way. Mila decided to use a portion of her earnings to establish a scholarship fund called Sweet Futures, aimed at helping children who aspire to start their own businesses but lacked the resources. This scholarship became Mila's way of giving back to her community and ensuring that her journey would continue to inspire for years to come. If this story has touched your heart, we'd love for you to share its message by liking and sharing it with your friends, helping us reach our first milestone of 1,000 subscribers, which means the world to us and allows us to create more meaningful stories for you. Don't forget to share your thoughts about the story and let us know which city you're watching from. Thank you for your support, and we'll see you in our next story.